Hey everyone, good evening. Welcome to tonight's live. Today is the 30th of June, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York session time. We're going to go over a couple of news events first. We're going to go over through the Forex Factory calendar that I usually use. This is my go-to when it comes to keeping an eye on any type of news, whether it be red folder, orange, yellow, but we always want to focus on red folder news, right? And I'm just so used to using Forex Factory. There are other different news related websites that you can definitely use, but for me the easiest one is going to be Forex Factory. I do come from a Forex background, so that's pretty much why I use it all the time. It's just a habit, right? I always check the news as well every single morning right before jumping on the charts, just to remind myself, if I'm getting into red folder news or not. Now, without further ado, we're going to go over the red folder news for this coming week. Remember, I do not trade the Asian session. I prefer to trade the New York session. I've traded the London session a few times, but living in the New York session time zone, it is much easier for me to just trade the New York session. Trading the London session will require me to wake up like around 2 or 3 a.m. locally my time. So it's a little bit difficult juggling between that and a full-time day job. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump on the charts. Well, not the charts, let's jump on the news. So for the calendar, today, Sunday, we have one red folder news. It's Euro and it's all day. Monday, tomorrow, we have all day Euro as well. I was gonna say Euro again. Euro as well on Monday. That's gonna be all day. Followed by 10 a.m. New York session time. So we're talking about New York session 30 minutes after the New York Open. USD, red folder, ISM manufacturing PMI. Tuesday, what are we seeing? On Tuesday, we see red folder news for Euro during the London session. Red folder, core CPI, and CPI flash estimate. New York session open on Tuesday. We have red folder, USD. Chairman Powell speaks. So be very careful with that. That could go anyway. 10 a.m., 30 minutes, which is after the New York session open. We have the JOLTS jobs opening. Going on to Wednesday, we see an hour and 15 minutes before the New York Open. We have non-farm employee change, USD red folder. Another USD red folder, 15 minutes right after that. Unemployment claims. This is 1 hour before the New York market open. And then 30 minutes after the New York market open, we have another red folder news, which is the ISM service PMI. And then in the afternoon, we have FOMC at 2 p.m., which is the New York session afternoon session. Moving on to Thursday, we have CHF during the London Open, all day GBP. And then Friday, we have Canadian dollar and USD 1 hour before the New York Stock Exchange Open at 8:30 a.m. All right, without further ado, let's jump on the charts themselves. So the chart you see on the screen is going to be micro, E-mini, NASDAQ, right? So we're looking at NASDAQ charts right here. So last week we did draw out this zone and we did draw out these fibs as well. What we're looking at, we are so extremely bullish until we're absolutely not, right? We're looking for a re-entry here on this daily fair value gap 50% mark on this daily candle over here. This candle was made on the 12th of June. And we had another fair value gap over here that we were trying to use as an entry for a bullish position. But then you have this candle that closed through it and then followed through as well, which inverted this, right? So when price action broke through it and closed the candles underneath it on the daily time frame, it invalidated this fair value gap. So this fair value gap, instead of being bullish, it became an inverted fair value gap. So now it's a bearish fair value gap. And for the most part, it's held as a inverted bearish fair value gap, right? So it became inverted from bullish into bearish. And now that bearish fair value gap is holding, because even though you got this wick that went right through it, the candle body itself did not close beyond the fair value gap, the new fair value gap itself, right? Which the true fair value gap would be right here. So that's what it looks like. And then the full fair value gap, which is the inverted one, would be all the way down here, because that's this entire candle body here. Right? So this is holding pretty steady. Looks like since we hit this all-time high, 2374.5, let's round it up to 2375. It's been losing momentum, and we're getting a lot of bearish pressure as well. Right, so it looks like we might be looking for bearish positions on a lower time frame intraday. Let's check out the weekly. What does the weekly say? Weekly is opening low. Daily, we're opening low. And we still have this identified daily fair value gap. Make sure to have your alert set on this one. I know I set my alerts on this before, but I don't know why it just erased it. But just in case, set your alerts on that. And then what else? We're going to set alerts over here as well. We're not going to go too far down, but we're going to have those. So this alert right over here, it's going to be 19647.50. And then the alert underneath that's going to be 19160. Let's jump into the 4-hour time frame and see what's up. Four-hour time frame, you're going to see pretty much the same story. Fair value gap over here was bullish. We're looking for an entry there. Broke through it and disrespected it. Now it became an inverted. Right? Now if you look at the overlap itself, this is the overlap over here. That's the true overlap of the fair value gap. Right there and there. And then you can see the candle bodies on the 4-hour did not close beyond that fair value gap there as well, which makes it still valid. I'm going to create a sell side liquidity over here. It looks like it's already tapped into that. So then we're looking to tap into this buy side liquidity here. Daily fair value gap is right here underneath, right? So we want to retest it. Price action is going to come and test that out. We have a fair value gap over here. It's very tiny on the 4-hour. Then we have another fair value gap over here as well. Looks like it's already tapped into that and it's been mitigated. Yep, tapped into the halfway point. So now that's mitigated. That one's no good. That one's not going to hold. What else do we see? Daily fair value gap 50% mark overlaps with this 4-hour over here on the left hand side. This 4-hour candle. Let's modify this. Let's add 4-hour there as well. And yeah, I mean, looking at our price action, how it is right now at the moment, that's pretty much what all we have. We're looking for bearish positions. This is crazy. Drawing the 50% mark over here on this fair value gap. Bearish. Price action came and tapped into that like perfectly. You see that's on Friday. Wow, I can't believe I didn't catch that. I didn't see that. Would have set a limit order there. Limit sell. Boom. That would have passed any account right there. It's always good to look left, right? So if I would have actually pulled up the charts, went through the setups like I do right now, I would have caught that on Friday. But I didn't trade Friday. So that's why I didn't catch it, but that's super clean, right? Fridays, I usually try to stay out of the market because my back testing has proven that when I trade on Fridays, it is not profitable for me whatsoever. Whereas if I don't trade Fridays, I usually tend to have 7% more profit towards every month. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next pair. We already identified a couple of different sections here, different areas, points of interest on NASDAQ that I believe should be tapped. Keep an eye on this buy side liquidity. We might actually just tap into here, wick above it, not break the all-time high, and then continue all the way down to this 4-hour and daily fair value gap 50% mark. Something has to happen up here, right? And this is extreme premium zone. I'm gonna color this up as well. Anything beyond above here, this area here is a premium zone. Anything below here is a discount zone. So whenever price action comes up over here in this area, I am going to be looking for shorts and vice versa. Let me see if I still have this saved. Yeah, premium discount zones. All right, so let's move on to metals. We're looking at gold right now. So for gold, I marked out this entire area as yellow. This entire area is a ranging area that I identified. We did reject off this all-time high over here. Looks like we have equal highs, right? Relatively equal highs over here. We have a 4-hour daily fair value gap over here that's bearish. This is still active, has not tapped into it, has not been mitigated. Pull you to the right. Price action is doing a double bottom over here. It didn't tap this weekly fair value gap 50% mark. So I'm still expecting price action to come back into this and test it out somehow. But you also have this one that's a 4-hour and daily that's still active, and it also converted this fair value gap that was bullish, made it into a bearish inverted fair value gap. Then we also have this one over here as well. Tapped into it. That was bearish as well, and it's been mitigated. So now it's no good. So now price action should seek whatever is above here. This area over here is 24.5. Let's go down to 4-hour. Four-hour, we have this fair value gap over here that overlaps our fibs beautifully. Price action has not come and tapped into that as well. New market structure low over here. So let's redo our fibs. Fibs are still there perfectly. 0.705. But we also have an order block over here. So I kind of want to do the entry over here at the 0.8. That's going to be way better for me. I also like to do overlaps of order blocks and fair value gaps. For me, like, those are the high quality entries. So we're going to mark that out. We're going to set an alert on that. It's going to be right here. Let's be a little bit conservative. So as close to that order block fair value gap as possible. This is going to be at 2368. And then we're going to be looking at that because we also have another fair value gap over here. If you can see at that line, you have a fair value gap here, 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 and here as well, overlapping 4 times, right? So we should see some kind of reaction there with price action in a bearish momentum. If not, and it breaks through, then it's going to seek this area here